Include in your purchasing and bid documents the hours and days of the week qualified employees are available to receive the shipments. Make sure to include enough unloading time in the schedule so samples can be provided and testing completed. Require a load-specific certificate of analysis. Clearly identify who will be responsible for getting a sample of the shipment, delivery driver or plant employee. Require washout documentation. If chemicals are sent in reusable containers, specify that the container be dedicated only for water treatment chemicals, and require a washout or cleanout certificate to prove the contents of the previous load were thoroughly removed. Prohibit unloading to take place until approved and witnessed by plant employees. Secure all external fill lines to prevent unloading before the quality control tests are done. The purchase or bid agreement should include a full inspection of all transport and delivery equipment prior to unloading. The agreement should include the specifics of sampling every dry and liquid chemical delivery. These tests should include appearance, specific gravity when applicable, AWWA standards, or other chemical industry standards. Material not meeting specification should be rejected and removed from the facility at the contractor's expense. Additionally, a replacement shipment meeting the contract requirements should arrive within 24 hours. Since treatment facilities require differing chemical strengths, each utility should set up its own acceptance limits, and these should be included in the chemical specifications. Each utility should have standard operating procedures, or SOPs, in place outlining its practices for receiving chemicals. And finally, security procedures should be included in the purchase agreement so both the supplier and receiver have a clear understanding of those requirements. When the delivery driver arrives, the receiving employee should recheck his or her identification and credentials. Once proper credentials have been reviewed, the employee accepts the paperwork from the driver, the bill of lading or manifest, and the certificate of analysis. The utility employee should conduct a thorough examination of the chemical transport vehicle to make sure there is not a problem with faulty transport equipment or leaking chemicals. Openings to the tanker should be sealed with tamper-proof seals, so check the integrity of those seals. They should be identified with numbers that are recorded on the bill of lading. The manufacturer or distributor is responsible for labeling containers, but the employee should check all incoming chemical containers or bags to make sure they are properly labeled for hazards, and they include the name and address of the chemical manufacturer or responsible party. Both the driver and plant employee should be wearing appropriate personal protective equipment during the inspection, testing, and offloading of chemicals as specified in the MSDS. The employee or driver should next either verify the certificate of analysis or conduct all of the sampling and tests specified in the purchase agreement. Treatment plants usually provide a clear glass sampling container for visual inspections. Some utilities require the supplier to provide a sample to be saved. In addition to a visual inspection of the arriving chemical, some utilities compare the new sample to previous shipment samples. Make sure all samples are properly labeled as they are collected. Follow sampling procedures and precautions for various chemicals as outlined in the utility's SOPs. Sampling and testing procedures should be specific to each AWWA standard.